The lights go off, your breathing slows, and somewhere in the darkness of your room, your dog, who has been watching you this whole time, does something. Something deliberate, something consistent, something that researchers who installed cameras specifically to capture it were, by their own account, genuinely not prepared for what they found.
You have been falling asleep in the same room as your dog for years, and you have never once seen what actually happens the moment you go under. Tonight, that changes. What dogs do in the hours after their owners fall asleep is one of the most quietly moving windows into what your dog's inner world actually looks like. It reveals something about how they process the end of a day, how they experience the absence of your conscious attention, and what, above everything else, they need when the world goes quiet and still. Some of what you are about to learn is surprising. Some of it is deeply moving. And all of it says something specific and important about the dog sleeping in your room right now, and the relationship the two of you have built without fully realizing it.
Point 1. They watch you fall asleep, and they do it on purpose. The first thing researchers capturing overnight dog behavior documented is something most owners have never thought to wonder about. In the minutes immediately after an owner falls asleep, the majority of dogs do not immediately sleep themselves. They watch. They position themselves to watch.
Dogs who sleep in the same room as their owners show a consistent pattern of maintaining visual or proximity orientation toward their person during the transition from wakefulness to sleep. In practical terms, this means that as you are drifting off, your dog is almost certainly awake, alert, and quietly observing the process of you leaving consciousness. They watch your breathing change. They track the moment your body stills completely. And only when they have registered that you are fully asleep do they begin to adjust their own position for rest. This is not coincidence. Canine behavioral researchers describe this as a guardian transition, a behavior deeply rooted in pack survival instinct, where a pack member entering the vulnerable state of sleep is monitored by others until the transition is complete. Your dog is not simply settling down for the night. In those quiet minutes while you drift, they are standing watch. They are seeing you safely to the other side of consciousness. And they do it every single night, whether or not you have ever known it was happening.
Point 2. They choose their sleeping position based entirely on you. Once your dog has confirmed you are asleep, their sleeping position is not random. It is not based on comfort alone. Research on overnight dog positioning has found that dogs consistently choose sleeping locations that optimize their ability to reach their owner quickly if needed.
Dogs who sleep on the bed gravitate toward the foot or side closest to the door, placing themselves between their owner and any potential entry point. Dogs who sleep on the floor choose positions close to the bed, often pressing against the side of it or lying directly below where the owner's head rests. Dogs given free access to the entire home will frequently choose a doorway or threshold, a position that gives them a sight line to both the sleeping owner and the wider home beyond. What this consistent positioning reveals is that even in sleep, your dog has not switched off its relationship with you. It has reorganized around it. The sleeping dog in your room is not simply resting. It is resting at a post. And that post was chosen with your safety and proximity in mind. The same instinct that drove wolves to sleep with one eye fractionally open when a vulnerable pack member was nearby, running now in the warm chest of your dog as it settles against your bedroom floor.
Point 3. They check on you multiple times throughout the night. In homes where their owners are sleeping, have documented something that once you know about it, you will never quite stop thinking about it.
Dogs do not sleep through the night in unbroken rest. They wake periodically, often several times between midnight and dawn. And in the majority of cases, one of the first things they do upon waking is check on their owner. This check-in behavior takes different forms. Some dogs lift their head and orient it toward the owner's position, watching for several seconds before resettling. Some move toward the owner's bed or position and stand or sit briefly in close proximity before returning to their own spot. Some make very brief physical contact, a nose touch, a paw placement, before lying back down. The duration of these check-ins is typically very short, 10 to 30 seconds. The frequency across a night can range from 2 or 3 times to upward of 6 or 7 times in lighter sleepers. The dogs doing this are not in distress. They are not anxious or unsettled. Their body language and overnight footage is calm and relaxed throughout the check-in, ears soft, movements unhurried. This is not a dog worried about something. This is a dog doing what a dog does when the most important thing in its world is lying still in the dark, and it wants to make sure that everything is, simply, still okay.
Point 4. They know you are about to wake up before you do. In the final hour before an owner wakes, dogs show a measurable shift in their own state. A gradual increase in alertness and activity that begins, on average, 15 to 30 minutes before the owner's alarm sounds,
or before the owner stirs naturally. This is not magic, it is biology. Dogs are extraordinarily sensitive to circadian rhythms, both their own and those of the people they live with. Over time, a dog learns the specific chemical and behavioral signatures of its owner approaching wakefulness. The subtle shifts in breathing, the micro movements that precede consciousness, even the hormonal changes that accompany the final stage of a sleep cycle. Dogs have been documented waking and positioning themselves near their sleeping owners before any audible or visible alarm, suggesting they are reading physiological signals too subtle for any human in the room to notice. What this means is that in those quiet, early morning moments when your dog is already awake, already watching, already repositioned near you before you have opened your eyes, they are not simply being impatient for breakfast. They have been tracking your approach to wakefulness the way a navigator tracks an approaching shore. They know you are coming back. And they are ready. They have, in some sense, been ready all night.
So tonight, when the lights go off, and you feel your breathing slow, and your eyes close for the last time, know what is happening in the quiet of your room. Your dog is watching you go under. When you are fully gone, they are choosing where to position themselves, not for comfort, but for you.
In the hours that follow, they are waking and checking, briefly and gently, just to confirm that you are still there. And in the final quiet minutes before morning, they are already awake, already close, already ready for the moment you come back. They are not just sleeping in your room. They are keeping watch over you in a way so quiet and so consistent and so completely unasked for that most people go their entire lives never knowing it is happening. Now you know. If this changed how you think about the nights you share with your dog, please hit like. It genuinely helps more people find this channel. And if you want to keep going, the next video covers something that will move you just as deeply. Why your dog sighs, and what that long, slow exhale is actually expressing in the only language available to them. You will hear it completely differently from this moment on. Sleep well. Your dog will make sure of it.